cryptocurrencies, they will have a set of regulatory concerns they have to overcome, but they may live, right? They may live in that, like, is anybody going to block the formation of a crypto dollar in Africa? I don't know, the Africans might need one, right? And so maybe no country in Africa is going to shut it down because it'll be deemed to be. I've heard people say in South America and Africa, they really want the crypto dollar. They don't want the Bitcoin, but they want the stable dollar. That's what they want. And so maybe those things form and they fill that niche and that works well. And maybe the privacy thing comes to life. And with regard to DeFi, well, it'll come to life everywhere if it's viewed as a technical innovation that is more functional, that evolves faster than the centralized versions. But it will struggle if it is viewed as a competitor or as regulatory arbitrage, defeating the regulated exchanges, right? So there's space in cyberspace to create new crypto creatures. The most successful crypto creature is Bitcoin, right? That's an example of success. And the use case, the total addressable market of Bitcoin is $300 trillion. It's the biggest total addressable market of any digital network ever created in the history of the world. Bigger than Google, bigger than Apple, bigger than Facebook, bigger than Amazon, it's bigger than the internet in a way, because it's the internet of money, to paraphrase Andreas, right? It's all about money. I think that there's some interesting appeal to smart contracts, and there's interesting appeal in these other areas of functionality, currency, provenance, etc. I think that they're all at the venture phase. They're adventures, and something will happen, and someone will figure something out good. But if it's going to be a successful crypto as opposed to digital network, you're going to have to mate technology and ideology. Someone's going to have to love it so much that they'll lay down in front of a tank and die for it. If everybody in Africa is willing to fight and die for a privacy coin that emulates the dollar, it'll be successful, right? There has to be that ideology. They're like religions, right? These are like the 21st century religions. Do you believe in it and love it with all of your heart? And are you going to feed the flame? Because the altar of the Middle Ages, has become the mining rig of the 21st century. If you would run the mining rig to mine Ethereum in your home, it's your religion. If you would run Zcash, if you would run another stable coin as your mining rig, then you're worshiping that religion. And now the question is, are you going to protect that mining rig when someone comes to kick your door in and take it away from you? Because the religions that made it through the dark ages, right, had people that they were willing to go underground and protect it. So, and then on the other hand, if it's just doing what Binance does, why you better find some arbitrage, some nuance. Maybe it's a regulatory arbitrage, but maybe if you can come up with some totally decentralized idea that causes people in cyberspace to be able to cooperate with each other 1,000 times faster. Like, for example, the argument against KYC AML is it slows everybody down. It takes them 3 months or 6 months in order to interact with each other instead of 6 seconds. And if I could take it to 6 seconds, then maybe I could trade with 197,000 counterparties on a Saturday afternoon. And then maybe that creates an emergent behavior, like in nature, some emergent process which creates something of beauty. If you can create that emergent process, then you can birth something that's going to live on in cyberspace. And I think that Bitcoin is that emergent process for monetary energy. And it doesn't need to be that much more than that, right? That's enough. That's like plankton. It's the base layer in the ecosystem. But then, you know, there's birds that fly, and there's fish that swim, and there's sharks that eat the fish. These are also life forms. And by the way, nature creates a lot of them. And, you know, the shark bird doesn't work, you know? Like sometimes you try to do too much. So what do I think about Ethereum? I think it's evolving. There are all these things it wants to be, right? I mean, Ethereum 1.0 is a life form. Ethereum 2.0 is a different life form. So let's be clear, right? I can't give you an opinion on Ethereum 2.0 until it comes to life. And 3 years to 5 years after it comes to life, I'll tell you what I think of it. You know, and Ethereum 1.0, we can see what we think of that. And, you know, it's interesting world we live in. I think you just have to evaluate each of these things, and you have to be honest about what is that life form trying to do. If you wish, like we talk about path dependence. If you wish to dominate the ecosystem, you need to be a unique, beautiful creature that does something really well and better than all other creatures in the ecosystem that would compete with you for that energy. And so I think Ethereum is not going to displace and should not really compete with Bitcoin. I think it's a mistake. I think anytime people say Ethereum is money, it's a mistake, because it's like they're competing with a creature which is actually better engineered to be that. If I really want money, I don't want 100 other features. I don't want all the other features that Ethereum has. I like the fact that it's stodgy and slow and secure and reliable. Like, for example, if you're an engineer and you came to me and said, I have 187 ideas to improve Bitcoin, I would say, like, slow it down. Like, let's not, right? Let's go very carefully, very slowly, because it already is good enough to be $300 trillion. It's got the function. It's done. It's genetically completed. It's like those cockroaches or the lobster from 300 million years ago. Stop screwing with it. God created it. He dropped it in the world. And let it be what it is, like plankton. Just let it be. If you want to play God and you want to create a new creature in cyberspace, I think the lesson is you better design the creature very carefully. You better have a clear thought about what that creature is going to do, what the purpose of it is, what part of the ecosystem is going to live in. And if you're true to yourself, if that creature, you know, is true to itself, then maybe it will prosper and it will occupy its place in the ecosystem. But, you know, there's not a lot of space for like a shark duck, you know, that lives in the trees, right? That's not a good idea. So you better figure out what you want to be when you grow up, and you should commit to that thing, and you should be comfortable with it. And then you're most likely to be successful.